$10,000 rate buy down dollar for dollar can actually be more of a benefit for a buyer than a $20,000 sales price reduction. If you're not having that conversation with your sellers today, this could be a game changer in positioning your home above all of the other homes in that neighborhood that are looking to sell. And that's why I think to incent your buyers with financing options makes you a better agent. And you definitely need to make sure that you're partnering with a lender to kind of discuss these options. If you're not asking, you're leaving deals on the table. Last week, I was sitting at a luncheon with some of the top producing realtors in Las Vegas, and something interesting happened. Every single agent that I spoke with at the table said the exact same thing. I've got so many listings, but I need buyers. And if you're listening right now and nodding your head, you're not alone. Inventory in Las Vegas is up over 30%. Days on market are stretching past 50 days, and buyers are hesitant because of rates and uncertainty. But here's the interesting part. The agents who are thriving in this market are doing something very different. They're not waiting for buyers, they're creating them. And on today's episode, I'm going to share with you my list framework, LIST framework, which I created based on working with hundreds of realtors in the industry, as well as I did some market research recently, taking a look at the days on market listings and asking those specific listing agents how they got their homes sold so quickly. So we're going to walk through what the list method is, but make sure you stay to the end because I'm also going to give you a free resource which is going to help you turn your listings into buyer opportunities. So breaking down the list framework, L is for leveraging your database. I is to ignite buyers with financing. S is to have a strategic open house. And T is to target buyers through social media and technology. So before we dive into the strategy, let's look at this market. Las Vegas leads the nation in listings without offers, up 77% year over year. And based on when I'm doing this video, the days on market is about 55 days, up 16 from last year. Only 1 in 5 listing is affordable to a median income household. And listen, you might be saying, how is this mortgage lender going to provide me as a realtor an opportunity or strategy on how to create more buyers out of my listings? One thing I want to assure you, I've been in the business over 25 years. Because of this conversation, I actually took a survey based off of the days on market, took the shortest days on market and reached out to those listing agents to find out how they sold their homes. Because of that, I dove into not only doing this market research, but I also created a chat or a GPT, a bot, so to speak, that can help you figure out many different things, whether it's listing strategy, whether it's open house strategy, whether it's buyer persona, whether it's social media strategy, all of the above. So if you stay tuned to the end, I'm going to share with you what that looks like. So when you stay tuned to the end, I'm going to give you that free tool and resource. All of this information that I'm about to provide you is all built off of data research that I put together just recently to help our agents convert their listings into buyer transactions. Strategy 1, the L is leverage your database. The buyer you need is already in your database. You just have to create the urgency. Past clients from 2 to 5 years ago may have $100,000 or more in equity and they don't even know it. All your renters, maybe there's an opportunity. The right loan product can make them buyers today. I think for many of us, we are missing the opportunity inside of our database. Clients who may have put up the flag saying that they were interested a couple of years ago, maybe they're hearing all the headlines, but they need an expert just like you to show them that this could be an actual possibility for them. Maybe there's an opportunity for you to also look back at your renters for those clients that you put into rental properties and provide them with an opportunity to see if this could be an option for you. Inventory is up. There are definitely more options for our buyers today. And on a side note, as you're jumping back into your database, ask the forward questions. I'm a big advocate of the Ninja Selling Book. And as a byproduct of jumping into your database, one thing that you can do if you focus on the FORD strategy, which is FORD, which is family, occupation, recreation, and dreams, not only to provide them with an opportunity to possibly get them to enter the market, but it's also to provide you with an opportunity to get to know your clients, Relationship is key. And by jumping back into your database, perhaps this is one way not only to bring up your buyers, but as well to re-engage with your past clients. Here's what I'm seeing with current conditions. Right now, inventory is increasing, days on market is extending, buyers are hesitant due to rates, and agents have more listings but fewer buyers. Your traditional listing model is not working today. List, market, wait for buyers. But top agents are acting differently. The modern listing model is list, market, and generate buyer opportunities. And this is where a listing becomes an engine, not an inventory. So by leveraging your database, so the number one goal by leveraging your database is to activate your buyers who did not think they could buy. Let's jump into I, which is incentivize with financing options. And listen, as a lender, I sit on both sides of this transaction. As a lender, I can pull a list of pre-qualified buyers who went quiet 6 to 9 months ago. Maybe rates spooked them or they just went dark. They may be ready now. This is the call that most loan officers aren't making, and it's the one that fills your pipeline. Now let's jump into I, which is incentivize your buyers with financing. Now, this is my lane. I'm owning it completely. No other podcaster in Las Vegas can speak to financing the way that I can. I live it every single day. And one of the things that I keep hearing about is, oh, the builders, they have the lowest interest rates. How do you apply that same builder strategy to your listing strategy? You do this by using the same strategies that builders do. Now granted, some of those below market interest rates are done through forward locks, which is something that you can do when you've got a builder and a mortgage company who are under the same umbrella. But you could technically do the same thing on a resale transaction. Let me give you an example of that. The majority of your builders today are promoting a 2-1 buy down, which ultimately shows the rate 2% lower than the note rate, which is a 2-1 buy down. In addition to that, they're also doing a permanent rate buy down. So to give you an example of what this would look like, if you were to just go in on a traditional interest rate today, that would be a rate, say 6.25. Well, if you look to buy down the interest rate, maybe 2 or 3%, buy down the interest rate to say 5.25% with a permanent rate buy down. On top of that, you add the 2-1 buy down. That first year's interest rate would be 3.25. The second year would be 4.25, and that third and subsequent years would be 5.25. That's how the builders are doing it. There's no reason you can't do that on a resale if builders are doing it. The one thing you may not be able to promote is that you can't promote that specific interest rate because you can't lock in that interest rate at the time that you list the home. But having the conversations with your sellers, in addition to where they're going to be pricing out the home, may actually be a benefit to getting this home sold or getting more opportunities for buyers to look at their homes, based on the fact that your seller may be motivated to provide a permanent rate buy down or a 2-1 buy down, in addition to maybe even closing costs. And I want you to think about this. An $8,000 rate buy down, dollar for dollar, can actually be more of a benefit for a buyer than a $20,000 sales price reduction. If you're not having that conversation with your sellers today, this could be a game changer in positioning your home above all of the other homes in that neighborhood that are looking to sell. And that's why I think to incent your buyers with financing options makes you a better agent. And you definitely need to make sure that you're partnering with a lender to kind of discuss these options. Many of us, just like myself at Prosperity Lending, have tools and references that you can share with your seller to show them the difference between potentially listing at X dollar or using some of that listing sales price to incent a buyer towards either a permanent rate buy down, a 2-1 buy down, or closing cost, or all of the above. If you're not asking, you're leaving deals on the table. Now let's jump into S. This is to strategically plan your open houses. I have been part of many different open houses with agents, and I love all of them. However, I do feel like in today's market, you cannot be doing the same things you did a year or two. I actually had Mike Miller on the podcast, and he talked about back in 2015, we were doing mega open houses. And it wasn't that it was a mega open house. It was the way that they created this open house. It was a way that they were very strategic in creating this open house. It was about when they actually listed the home, how they actually targeted the neighbors in the home, all of the SOPs and the checklist and planning before they even launch that home to be previewed. They opened the house up on that weekend, which is always the first weekend. They made a big deal of it, and they got a ton of buyers as a result of that. This is the big strategy. This is not just unlocking a door on a Sunday and hoping someone walks in. Most open houses are passive, but a mega open house is an event designed to activate buyers. Some of you might be saying yes, but there's a cost associated with it. But let me ask you again, your goal is to create more buyers. This is probably the biggest difference on the agents that I spoke with, was that they were strategic about their open houses. And I built two different versions, a low cost version, which is probably on average of $50 up to $500, and then a high cost version, which is about $1,000 to $5,000. And both can work. It really depends on what you're willing to invest. At the low cost level, organic post, data text blast, using Nextdoor and Facebook groups, obviously using a lender partner on site like myself, and doing maybe a gift raffle that would help to get sign-ins. And at the high cost level, maybe you're doing geo-targeted ads, direct mailers to 5 neighbors. You've got a full team that's there. Again, your lender, your title, maybe other buyers agents. You're really turning this into a real event. And I would just say this, a mega open house isn't just about selling one home. It's a lead generation machine. Every person who walks through is a potential buyer, seller, or referral. From a low-cost standpoint, there's a lot of things that you can do as an agent in preparing for your open house. And whether this is your listing or you're planning to do a listing for a home that might be another agent's, I would definitely say you could do this the same way. But for you as a listing agent, I would be very strategic on the timing that you list your home, whether it's doing a coming soon, getting it ready to do all of your social media blasts, which we'll talk to at the very end as well, but also being very specific on who you're targeting when you're doing those social media blasts. It's to do also your door knocking ahead of the open house, but do not open up the home for showing until the day of the open house. This was something that was very key and consistent with those different listing agents, was that they set up the date for the home to actually be listed, which was usually on a Thursday or Friday. And then they also set the date for the open house to be either a Saturday or Sunday, and that's when the first showings were held. It creates this energy. It also creates a bit of exclusivity. All right, let's roll into T, which is targeting buyers through social media and technology. This is the most modern, most shareable strategy that builds momentum. Social media is the best delivery system for everything. If you're not on social media, you need to get on social media. I'm sorry. It's a one-to-many platform. It's just like putting up a billboard on the 215, which gives you so much access, except it's for free. Here's something I want you to understand before we go any further. Social media is not a separate tactic. It is the delivery system for everything we've just talked about. Your data outreach needs social reach. Your mega open house needs social promotion. Your out-of-state buyers, they're on social media right now as well. And that's a whole nother thing. Let's talk about your out-of-state buyer angle. Las Vegas has a massive migration advantage that most agents underutilize. Your buyer might not live in Las Vegas. They might be sitting in California. They might be in New York, scrolling Instagram, paying state income tax, looking at your $500,000 Summerlin listing thinking, man, why am I still living here? Now I know which platform, the platform strategy. It should be brief, practical, and actionable. Here's how I think about the platforms. Instagram is where you have buyers scrolling. Reels get 3% engagement in real estate, double what static posts get. And Facebook is where communities live. Neighborhood groups, event promotion, local reach you can't buy on any other platform. LinkedIn is the sleeper here that most agents are ignoring. Your past clients, your lender contacts, your referral network, they're all on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn real estate engagement is higher than TikTok and Facebook. The TikTok reaches audiences who haven't found you yet, like younger buyers as an example. New to Las Vegas maybe. And don't skip out on TikTok. TikTok reaches audiences who haven't found you yet. Younger buyers, new to Las Vegas. The discovery algorithm is powerful if you show up consistently. Something else to add as far as your out-of-state buyer, if you're not tapping into referral agents from out of the state to let them know about your listings, this is also something that you're missing out on. In talking to some of those listing agents as well, they have grown their network outside of Las Vegas and utilize those networks to bring the clients here. Maybe you pay a referral fee, but the goal is to get those listings sold, but to also give you more buyer opportunity. Social media is another opportunity. If you're doing geo-targeting, you could reach into those other outlying states and target inside of those states for specific buyers who may be looking to relocate into Las Vegas. Opportunity for you, again, to open up that window as far as social media. Now, one of the cool things that I've done as well inside of this GPT, which I'm about to share with you, is it will give you a social media launch plan, which is pretty cool. Whether you do it within 2 days, 3 days, 7 days, 10 days, whatever it might be, it'll provide you with a specific, strategic social media plan specific to that home based on everything you want to provide, also based on the buyer persona. All right, so let's pivot to the seller conversation. Sometimes the buyer problem is actually a seller problem. Buyers now have more options than any time in recent years, and if you're not sharing that with your sellers, this is something you definitely need to tell them. Your listing has to earn the offer. Listings don't sell homes. Demand sells homes. And the best agents know how to create that demand. And that's why I'm super excited to share with you the Listing to Buyer GPT that I created, really as a way to help these agents who are saying that I've got a ton of listings, but I need some more buyer opportunities. I spent all day trying to create this GPT. I then sent it out to my agents to go through it, poke holes in it, give me some feedback. I went back to those listing agents that I spoke to try to figure out the strategy aspect of it and had them look through it. And all in all, the feedback is that it's a pretty remarkable GPT, if I do say so myself. I've been sitting on this for a few weeks, and I'm so excited to share it with you. I've built this AI-powered tool specifically for you who's looking to get your listings to convert them into more buyer opportunities. Too many listings, not enough buyers. I call it the Listing to Buyer GPT. And here's the cool thing about this GPT. Whether it is a listing that you've got coming up, whether it's a listing you've got today and you're just trying to figure out how to get it to get more buyer opportunity on it, or even how to get it sold, whether it's an open house that you're looking to do on a listing of someone else's, or you want to strategize on how to create that mega open house, this L2B will absolutely help you. I've gone through it in many different directions, and it will always provide you with a checklist and an SOP so that you can not only execute, but you can take action, which is, at the end of the day, really all that we have to do. Let's go through that list framework again. L is to leverage your database. The buyer is in there. I is to incent your buyers with financing options. Let's talk. And S is to strategically plan an open house, whether it's a mega open house or a regular open house. Let's turn your listing into an event. And T is to target buyers through social media and technology so you can reach those out-of-state buyers who are moving here to Las Vegas. Show up where they scroll. Listings don't create buyers, strategy does. And if you have a listing that needs a buyer, reach out to me directly. I specialize in financing solutions that get buyers off the fence, and I've been doing it in the Las Vegas market for way over 25 years. The Listing to Buyer GPT is absolutely free. Here's what the L2B flywheel strategy looks like. You're going to have a listing, you're going to utilize the GPT, which is going to help you to create more buyer leads, which is going to help convert more buyers into actual transactions, which turns into more referrals, which gives you more listings. It's a complete flywheel. And that's what we call the flywheel loop. Over time, this builds stronger agent relationships. And my goal with this GPT was to help our agents become better strategists. Agents who succeed in today's market understand financing, generate buyer demand, and market listings creatively. The L2B GPT helps you do that faster. Don't forget, listings don't create buyers, strategies do. And the agents who win in this market are the ones who create that strategy. And the agent that wins in this market is the one who creates the strategy. Until next time, I'm Shelly Panzarella. Remember, listings don't create buyers, strategy does. And the agent that wins in this market is the agent that creates that strategy. So go make it happen. I'll see you on the next episode.